What's up, everybody? I'm back. It's Tuesday, and I'm circling back around on a band that I did fairly early, I think, in this channel's existence. There's a new song by GNOME. The song is called The OGRE. We'll get into it in just a minute. As always, I do have my coffee, obviously. Before we get into it, a couple things. Please remember, I'm not a professional. I do this for fun. So please don't expect me to be analyzing time signatures and whatnot. And don't be a dick. I try to be thoughtful when I do these. Whether or not I like the song, I try to be listening intently, right, to understand what people like about it. So I would just ask that we try to keep the comments respectful as well. I'm not here to say mean things just to say mean things. And usually I don't. With that out of the way, let's get into it. This is The Ogre by GNOME. Nice. Okay, so we got new GNOME coming soon. Album. If you're watching my content and you are in the, I'll say northwest of Europe, album release show about a week and a half from now. Ought to go out. Okay, so some thoughts. This is a long song, and I go through different. There are things I recognize, or things that sort of stick out to me in different places. So overall, this kind of feels like a Between the Buried and Me song. It's not in the same style as Between the Buried and Me, but one of the hallmarks, particularly of Colors, right? The kind of the big first album from Between the Buried and Me. Songs would go between genres during the same song, right? So you would get like speed metal, and then you'd get something groovy. You might get jazz or blues. You might get a honky tonk piano, and go into a little hoedown style, bluegrass, right? It just kind of meshed, and it just sort of transitioned in between. And that's what you got in this, right? There were several different sort of stylistic musical choices being made. It's kind of stoner metal. I don't know that I'd call it metal, but it's sort of like that fantasy metal, right? I don't know any of the bands from that genre of music because I don't listen to it, but the dwarves and elves and dwarves and elves and that sort of thing, right? The Lord of the Rings inspired stuff, right? You're getting kind of elements of that because it's thematic, but musically, it's kind of like old stoner rock. There's a band called Leafhound that they kind of remind me of, which is just it's real distorted on the guitar and kind of crunchy fuzzy. But then you also have that beautiful sax solo at the end. We get some calmer interludes. It's a really fun song. Obviously, again, it is very long. This is maybe not the sort of thing that... See, I think, and they can correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is the sort of music that you are expected to be on some substance to listen to. Because I think most people are not going to just go seek out a 9 or 10 minute song to start playing. But if it comes on, they'll listen to it. That's kind of what I'm thinking, right? You get high or you get drunk or other substances. You drop this album on and you're just there to listen to it. Life is busy. I'm flipping through songs. I'm flipping through 30 seconds of a song. Move on to the next one. So that's just a thought, right? And I'm not... that's fine with me. If that's the audience that you're primarily going for, that audience is there. They've been around for a long time. The video itself, very fun. Sort of stop motion looking, plasticine looking, all animated, but sort of in that plasticky Wallace and Gromit sort of aesthetic. Cool story, right? Again, I like videos that tell stories that aren't just like there to sort of introduce you to the music. The song tells a story and the video tells the story of the song. And I really like it when artists and bands work on that and prioritize it. So I really appreciate this video. At the end, of course, you get the classic shift into live action as they're crawling out and they're all painted red. I'm sure that was a treat to be covered in. Looking like Blink-182 or the Chili Peppers a little bit out there in their undies and their bass guitars and whatnot. I like it. I think this is a great song. I think the new album's probably going to be good. If you have the opportunity to go out and see them perform live, I think you should. I think they're fun. I think they are good at what they do, and they have a good sense of humor. And those things are important to me. I'm going to wrap it up here, though. Thank you guys for watching. have a good day. Stay safe out there. Drink lots of water. And don't talk to cops.